Hey, what's going on YouTube? In today's video, I'm going to go over the roadmap for how you can start an Amazon business with $500. And we're going to go over all of the different tools and tips and advice and things like that for that. So let's get into this.
Hey YouTube, I'm Alicia and this is my husband Nate. We are former teachers turned seven-figure Amazon sellers. We started this YouTube channel and our Facebook group to network with other Amazon sellers and share tools, tips, and advice on how to grow their Amazon business.
All right, let's dive into this. So we've seen a lot of videos like this where people sort of go through how to start an Amazon business. And the vast majority, it's just them listing like 20 different tools that they all have affiliates for. So I wanted to do this video a little bit differently. We are going to list some tools that I recommend, but I want to go over more like the fundamentals of how you can actually start a business selling things on Amazon with a really small budget, like $500, for example. Okay, so first and foremost, there's so many different ways that you can sell on Amazon. There's so many different methods and business models. If you're starting with a small budget, like say $500, for example, you really are narrowed down to what business models you can do successfully. So for us, what we recommend is do what's called retail arbitrage. So retail arbitrage, if you're unfamiliar, you're buying things cheap from Walmart or Kohl's or retail stores like that, and you're reselling those onto Amazon. The benefit of doing it this way is you can buy one or two products if it's on clearance at Walmart, instead of getting a whole truckload of wholesale inventory, or instead of importing a bunch of stuff from China, you can just get one or two units of 100 different units to sort of test the waters and learn how Amazon functions. So that's first and foremost what I recommend people to start with as far as what kind of business model that they need to set up for Amazon.
Yeah. Our second tip is to always go wide and not deep. So if you are out shopping and you don't want to buy a bunch of one certain item, you want to buy maybe one of each item instead. And the benefit of that is that you're still learning, and so you want to make sure that if an item flunks, it doesn't just sink your entire budget. Because if you spend all of your money on one or two things and that doesn't work out how you wanted, then you're kind of stuck without any profit.
Yeah, and that's really the problem that we see with other people who talk about starting Amazon businesses, and they talk about wholesale or they talk about private label. I mean, if you start with a private label product and you spend $5,000 on some brand new product, if it doesn't sell, you're out 100% of your budget because you just have 1,000 units of one thing. So what we're recommending is, instead of getting 5,000 units of one thing, get one of as many different things as you possibly can. Okay. So yeah, and there's different categories and genres and things like that that you can go into. You can get books, you can get bras, you can resell, just clearance stuff from Walmart. So there's many different avenues within that, but definitely stick with going wide. Don't get too many of any one specific item.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so our third tip is going to be to reinvest 100% of your budget. It's something that we see a lot of people make the mistake of. Or we've been asked this, like, oh, what did you do when you made that first sale?
When can I pay myself?
Yeah, when can I pay myself? Did you go out to dinner after that first sale? Like, no. We didn't spend any budget. Any money that we made through the business was reinvested back into the business. If you want this to go anywhere, that's what you have to do.
In fact, we didn't take anything from our business, even though we could have, until we quit our full-time jobs.
Yeah, we continued working full-time jobs for over a year after we started this, and that was because we could sustain ourselves with our full-time jobs, and then we could reinvest 100% of all profits back into the business while we sustained ourselves with our 9-to-5s. So we find that that's really key to growing this as large as it can be, and giving you that proper sort of launch pad to success.
This is also why we say it's not a get-rich-quick thing. Anybody promising that is, I think, not really quite being honest with you. It's not a get-rich-quick thing. You can make money with Amazon, but it's not going to be immediate unless you have like a huge budget.
Yeah, I mean, you can grow a lot of money very, very quickly, but growing money and paying yourself with an inventory-based business are sort of two different things, because you have to use that money to buy more inventory, and that's just the nature of the beast.
Absolutely. Yeah, so our fourth tip is to get the right tools. Like Nate mentioned earlier, a lot of videos will push you to spend your entire budget on tools. However, we would rather you spend it on inventory. That's what they forgot, is that you have to buy inventory for an inventory-based business. So we have a couple things here that we think are absolutely essential, and then the rest you should spend on inventory.
Yeah, so let's dive into just a couple tools that I would recommend for sure getting if you're starting with $500. which ones I would say are pretty crucial to starting on the right foot. So we're just going to list those, and then we're going to list the prices that we can find on Amazon now, and we'll tally all of that up at the end so you know roughly how much you should be spending on tools, and then everything else should be pushed into inventory.
Right.
So let's dive into that.
The first tool we recommend is getting a pro account on Amazon. So as you know, if you've watched our other videos, there is a free account that you can use, but it costs an extra $1 per item that you sell. The pro account only costs $40 per month. So if you're sending in more than 40 items, then you really might as well get the pro account. If you don't get the pro account, this really is like the tool that you should get. And if you don't get the pro account, you really should not be getting any other tools because it just wouldn't make sense. That means you're not sending in 40 items. So this...
And there's no sense in speeding up a process. Like, tools are to speed up processes. There's no sense speeding up a process. If you're only selling 40 things a month, you don't need to speed that up. You need to get more inventory. Right,
exactly. So you definitely want to get the pro account on Amazon first.
Yeah. So some other cheap tools that we would recommend, and again, we're going to put all the prices up over here between our heads. So get yourself some Scotty peelers and some Goo Gone just for getting those clearance stickers off of stuff. Or even if you want to save a little bit extra, if you have rubbing alcohol in your house, that's a good free alternative. So get some like razor blades if you have them around the house, and some rubbing alcohol or Scotty peelers and Goo Gone to get clearance stickers off of items. And that's going to be pretty crucial when you're doing retail arbitrage.
Yeah. And the next thing you want to get is tape. We always recommend the 3-inch wide tape. And we go more in depth into that in our tools video, but you want to get tape as well.
All of the tools that we're talking about here, we talk much more in depth in our tools we use video. So check that out on our channel.
Yes.
Okay, so then as far as some subscriptions that I would use, I would highly recommend getting Keepa right out of the gate. Keepa will show you the historical sales rank. Sales rank is how you determine how much an item is selling. So when you scan an item, when you're in store and you're scanning your items, you'll see the sales rank, but that's just for today. It's just for right now. The sales rank changes every 15 minutes. So when you get Keepa, you can see the historical sales rank for basically all of time that item has been on Amazon. The historical price changes, how many sellers are on it, all of that information. And that is invaluable for deciding if something is a good purchase or a bad purchase.
That saved us a lot of money and made us a lot of money too.
Yes, absolutely.
The next tool that we recommend is Inventory Lab. Now, Inventory Lab keeps track of accounting. It helps you list your shipments. It just does everything basically as you list and ship things. It is probably the most valuable tool that we use.
It also comes with Scoutify 2 for free, which is like a scanning app for in-store. So, I mean, between Inventory Lab and Scoutify, I spend probably more time on those two things than any other tools combined in our business.
Absolutely. Now, Inventory Lab does come with a free trial. We recommend waiting to start that free trial until you're sending in your first shipment, or even a little bit after, so you can really maximize that free time with Inventory Lab.
Yeah, just so you know what you're saving. I think that's pretty important. Okay. Some other really cheap tools that I highly recommend is a UPC scanner for your computer. This is going to come in handy when you're listing things, so you can just scan something in and it pops up right into your browser or wherever you're listing. That's very, very, very valuable, and they're not too expensive either.
Right. Absolutely. Now, if you're selling something with fabric or any exposed fabric, you want to get poly bags. But you should definitely wait until you purchase your inventory to see what you're actually going to buy.
Yeah, you don't need to buy those up front because again, if you buy a bunch of old used books, you don't need to polybag those. So no sense in wasting your money on that tool. But if you're going to Kohl's, for example, and buying a bunch of bras, which we talk about a lot in our group, we like bras for beginners are fantastic. But if you go that route, then you will need to polybag that stuff, and you'll need the polybags.
Definitely. The last thing that we recommend is a used printer and some labels. So we love the Rollo so much, and we always talk about how we prefer Rollo over Dymo. However, if you're starting out with a smaller budget, like $500, you should not be buying a printer new.
And these are thermal printers that we're talking about.
Yeah, thermal
not
printers.
Like home printers.
No, you can find one on like Facebook Marketplace or wherever for like $40, $50, and we recommend going that route.
And often they even come with some labels in them. So if you're starting with a small budget, there's great tools like the Rollo, which we highly recommend, but since you're starting with such a small budget, I would recommend going like the used route, getting what you can, just the bare essentials, and then working your way up from there. All right. So lastly, I wanted to talk about some free tools and things like that that you can use for your business. That sort of encompasses all of the paid tools. If I did my math correctly, it should come out to about 170-ish on what I would recommend spending for that like first initial batch of tools and subscriptions and all of that stuff. So as far as free tools go, there's a ton of fantastic resources. Firstly, I would recommend like join some Facebook communities. I mean, I'm gonna shamelessly plug our own. So facebook.com/groups/hustlebuddies. You can learn from 12,000 other retail arbitrage sellers who are all already doing this. If you have questions, you can head there, and it's all free.
We've got tons of free info on there, videos, lots of good stuff.
Yeah, so check out resources like that. Look into things like if you're doing online arbitrage, for example, which is the same thing, but instead of going to Kohl's store, you go to Kohls.com or Walmart.com. Look at things like Rakuten or Raise. So Rakuten is like a click-through site. It's just free money. Raise, you can get discount gift cards. So again, they're all free ways of just adding a little extra cushion in your budget.
But those margins end up adding up big time.
Yeah, I mean, like getting 2-3% on 500 might not matter in the long run, but if you do that every single time that you purchase stuff, and so a year from now you got 2 or 3% on 100,000 stuff, okay, well that's a much larger number. Yeah.
Absolutely. The next thing that we always tell people to get is the free UPS shipping labels. You can get shipping labels for free either for your regular printer or for a thermal printer like the Rolo. You can get them for free from UPS.com.
Yeah, if you check out our tools we use video, we sort of break down where to go, but don't order or spend any money on shipping labels. You will have to buy your item labels, but those are separate. Your shipping labels are completely for free. Whether you use a thermal printer or your home printer, it does not matter. There are free options for both of those.
Don't pay for those.
And then lastly, get yourself free boxes. Don't spend money on boxes. That's not a necessity when you're first starting. You can dumpster dive for boxes. You can reuse old boxes.
Ask friends.
Ask friends. If you get a package in the mail from Amazon, just reuse that same box. So it's an easy freebie. I guess that wasn't the last one. A scale is something we always hear in a bunch of the other videos. I did a lot of research prior to this as far as what other people are recommending, and I didn't like most of what I heard, honestly. There's a lot of tools that could be replaced. I heard people recommend getting scales right off the bat. I think that's kind of a foolish way to spend money right off the bat. I think scales are great, and I think
once you grow, you can definitely get a bigger, like an actual official scale.
Yes, but things like a $20 scale, you can use your bathroom scale. You can weigh yourself and then weigh yourself with the box. Add 2 or 3 pounds, because bathroom scales aren't the most accurate for shipping. But that 2 or 3 pounds that you're adding, it's worth a lot more money than spending like $20 on a scale up front.
Our goal for this video is to help you maximize your profits, and so we just want to help you out in a way that we can.
So then to reiterate, spend as much as you can on inventory and spend as little as you can on the tools, but get the right tools for the right job.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So that about sums it up. If you like this video, make sure to thumbs up and subscribe. We have a longer video as far as just breaking down what each of the tools do for any sort of budget that you're starting with. So go check out that video. We've got some beginner guides, things like that. And definitely head over to our free Facebook community. It's an awesome place, really positive, really uplifting. Lots of people who are there to just help. So, all right, we'll see you there, guys. Have a good one.